So welcome to the end of the 2056 season. My name is Paul, also known as the Northman, and after the last video, even though the transfer window was closed and I promised you we wouldn't do anything, I sold a player. An academy player. Now, before anyone puts in the comments that they think that decision was wrong, I'm going to tell you right now that decision was wrong. We sold him for 40 million. We saw him because every time a bid came in, he said, I want to go and play football, I want to go to a better league, etc, etc. Now I've sold him, I realise I shouldn't have sold him, especially as the season ended. We needed him in them positions, so a bit upsetting. By the way, you can see I can get him to attempt overhead kicks, and I can also cancel it, even though he's not my player. So in terms of the intake, we have a goalkeeper who's quite decent, 3.5 to 4.5 potential. He's 6'4" as well, so an absolute giant. Low composure, but he's only 15. To run Olsen, so fairly impressed by him. Apart from him, there was a right back here who isn't the best, but he's better than some of the other crap we looked at. And then when you look at the likes of this centre midfielder here, a centre back here, you can see that again our intake isn't the best, but let's look at the positives that this goalkeeper, Torren Olsen, is better than anybody we've seen recently. Now, after this match, my 300th game in charge of the Faroe Islands, I will be resigning as manager of the national team. We only have a couple of years left of this save, and I want to focus on the club team. The national team with the bugs that we've found within this save, and a very big reason why we're definitely going with only a vanilla save in FM24, the vanilla game, not a custom database like this one, is the bugs, and the fact that the national team was so bugged, it's just become annoying. I stuck around till we hit that 300. I decided a couple of seasons ago, but we've hit the 300, we're going to play that game, then resign as manager. So we actually ended with a 2-2 draw, and for the year as the national team manager, we started with back-to-back wins, beating Gibraltar, then Finland away from home, with Ludwig, one of our youngsters, on the score sheet. Do I want to sign into Google Drive? No, I don't. Then we lost away to Armenia 2-0, a 1-0 defeat at home to Georgia, 3-0 away to Kosovo, before a 3-0 victory at home to Armenia, then a defeat to Kosovo. So I ended up getting them to finish bottom of the group this season, and that was another reason why, do you know what, it's just time to walk away. So we did end with the 2-2 draw against Georgia, and like I say, we ended on 4 points, 5 points behind Georgia in third place, bottom of the group. We weren't going anywhere, and it was time to walk away and focus on the club. So in terms of focusing on the club, we started away to Inter Milan, and we lost the game 2-1 with Anderson Noel on the score sheet for us. That was then followed up with a 1-0 victory over Juventus at home with Peter Clean, our academy central defender, scoring. We then had Manchester United come to the Faroe Islands, our first home game of the season in the Champions League, and Mufasa with the only goal saw us get a 1-0 win. After that, travelling to Spain for a 2-2 draw, Silverton and Mufasa on the score sheet. Travelling over to Rapid Wien in Austria, and we got a 4-0 victory. Mufasa scoring 3 and Makela on the score sheet, our central defender, stroke left back. And we've ended the season with a 2-0 victory over Brescia. Now that leaves us sitting in third place, 1-4, drew 1, lost 1, plus 7 goal difference with 13 points, 3 points off Lyon in first place. And we've looked decent in the Champions League, 100%. Now another thing to recap is the fact that we won the Cup, so we're still on course to be joint or the best ever in the league, the Super Cup and the Cup, a 1-0 victory over KI. And of course that was backed up with a victory in the league, 125, lost 2, losing at home to KI and at home to Vikingur Goethe this season. So 2 defeats, with Vikingur Goethe coming in second place, KI third, and then HB and Scala securing European football. Now they had a couple of players on loan from us this year, so it's nice to see that they are getting into Europe for 2057. Now just quickly looking how the other teams have done so far in Europe. The only team to make it to a group stage is Vikingur Goethe in the Europa Conference League. And they did alright. They got a point here against Skopje. They got a point against Faroe and a point against Shamrock Rovers. So they're currently sitting in 28th place. So it's better than last season. Now, unfortunately, KI went out in the Champions League to Galatasaray. Then they went out to Tobol in the Europa League, before then going out to Hartberg from Austria in the Conference League final round. Disappointing, because they only went out on penalties in the Europa League, and then went out by 2 goals to Hartberg. Very disappointing that they just didn't do any better. It's just annoying more than anything. So NES or NSI, they went out in the first qualifying round to Olympia in the Conference League. And Scala went out to Trnava in the Conference League as well by 3-0 on aggregate. So the other teams in the league are just not doing well. And that is something going into FM24 we really need to improve for clubs within our league structure. But a successful season for us again, winning the treble. And if we go to the squad screen and have a look, then our top goal scorer with 29 starts, 12 sub-appearances, Mufasa getting 35 goals, aged 30 now. Second was Noel with 14, and then you had Whitsulton with 8, and then Owen with 6, and Hjella with 5. Obviously a few players leaving in the summer who were getting goals in the first half of the season. In terms of assists, it was Halvar with 14, René Vang with 11 since coming back to the club, Silverton with 10, Owen with 7, Mufasa with 6. Squad-wise, we're looking decent. I would like to add some more depth in attacking midfield. I kind of think we need a new striker, maybe a rotation option for Mufasa, and maybe a bit more depth in defence, but I'm not really sure where in defence, right back, left back or centre back. I'm not came to that decision yet, but we definitely need to add a bit of depth there. Obviously we are still aiming towards 2057, so at the end of next season we move into the Bram Ellison Park. Really excited for that. 24,888. It doesn't say, I didn't see if it was all seated or if it was going to be some seats, some standing. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's an all-seated stadium. I guess we'll find out. But that is the end of the 2056 season. Hopefully we could... By the way, I just saw. Estimated value 1.3 billion. Club from the Faroe Islands with a 1.3 billion value. Thank you for watching. I will see you on Monday when we start the 2057 season. My name is Paul, also known as the Northman. I'll see you next time.